All right, guys, here are our notes for Tuesday night, December the 11th, 2018. We're going to be starting multiplying fractions and whole numbers. And it's not really that hard. You just sometimes you may think it's that hard. So we're going to start at the beginning. When you multiply a fraction, it is like multiplying a decimal. The product will be greater than the whole, but less than the fraction. And here we're going to unlock two problems, and I think it'll help make some sense to you. Mai collects stamps. She has 20 stamps in her collection. And here's her stamp collection. 4/5 of her stamps have been canceled. How many of the stamps in Maya's collection have been canceled? So if I look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So 4/5 is going to be right here. So I'm doing 20 stamps times 4/5. And this is 4/5, and this is 1/5. Okay? And so 20 times 4/5, and it's like 20 over 1, because 20 is a whole number. And 20 times 4 is 80. And 5 times 1 is 5. Now all I have to do is take 5 into 80, and I'm going to get 16. So the key words in this problem were of her stamps, and 16 of her stamps have been canceled. The next one is Susanna is working on IXL. She has answered 16 questions. She has answered 3/4 of the questions correctly. How many of the questions did Susanna answer correctly? She answered 3/4. So this is 3/4. So she answered 3/4 of 16. And again, 16 is going to be a whole, and we always put a whole number over 1. So I'm going to show you that 16 times 3 is 48, and 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 into 48 is 12. So the key words in this one were of the questions, and Susanna answered 16 of the questions correctly. I'm sorry, she answered 12 of the questions correctly. I said 16 and I meant 12. Looking at the bottom, we're going to do this another way. Margot was helping cleaning up after a party. There were 3 boxes remaining with pizza in them. Each box had 3/8 of this amount. Keywords. How much pizza was left in all? So we have 3 pizzas, 3 boxes, and each one of them had 3/8. And that's going to equal 9/8. Well, I can't leave that as an improper fraction. I have to make it into a mixed number. And I know that becomes 1 and 1/8 pizzas left. So Margot had 1 and 1/8 of a pizza left. Martin is planting a vegetable garden. Each row is 5 meters long. He wants to plant carrots along 3/4 of each row. Again, keywords. How many meters of each row will he plant with carrots? So 5 over 1 times 3/4, and that's 15/4. And I'm going to go ahead and make that to a mixed number, and that becomes 3 and 3/4. So Martin will plant carrots along 3 3/4 meters of each row. Now let's finish the back side up. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to solve, I want you to solve these problems and then check your answers, okay? 3/5 times 20. It's like 20 over 1 equals 60 over 5, which is 12. The product is greater than 3/5 and less than 20. So 3/5 times 20 is greater than 3/5 and less than 20. The next one is 12 over 1 times 5/7, which equals 60/7, which equals 8 and 4/7. And the product is less than 12 and greater than 5/7. So the product is greater than 5/7 and less than 12. Kristen bought 4 loaves of sliced bread to make sandwiches for the class picnic. Her classmates used 5/6 of the bread. How many loaves of bread were used? So I'm going to do 4 times 5/6, which is equal to 26, which is equal to 3 and 2/6, or 3 and 1/3. The product is less than 4 and greater than 5/6. So that means when I read these sentences, the product is greater than 5/6 and less than 4. Okay? That concludes the notes for multiplying fractions and whole numbers.